Let's get back to making some fun sounds with our CLA Epic plugin. So I'm going to explain to you how the routing really does work here.
It's 2020.
What I do in my mixes on my hardware is something I needed to emulate inside the plugin, which is being able to put reverb on delays. So what I did for you was make it very simple. You can take your main delay and you can pick a reverb and say, you know what? I want to put a Hall tail on it, right? Which means I want to have a reverb just for the tails of my delay. So when you select A, B, C, or D, that reverb then becomes only used by the delays sending to it. It doesn't get any input from the source of the plugin. That means it becomes its own dimension. So let me show you how that works, okay? So I'm going to turn off reverb B and D and delays 2, 3, and 4 and just show you off the one delay what it does.
Now I was thinking, am I wrong or am I right?
We'll put our sync on. We'll try it on a longer one.
The blind to help them find their sight, to overcome all the things we could not see. Raise your hands, take a stand for all humanity. Now we must practice what we came to preach. Educate our children, it's all within our reach. Learn from the history.
Now, so what you're hearing is very simple. You're hearing a quarter note delay on the vocal, and then that delay is going into its own reverb to give it a little bit of background, okay? Now we're gonna add reverb to the voice on top of that, and that's gonna bridge the two things, right?
Now I was
Okay, so we'll add the vocal plate in there.
am I right? What can I do for the blind to help them find their sight? To overcome all the things we could not see. Raise your hands, take
Put a little more regen on it.
all humanity. Now we must practice what we came to preach. Educate our children, it's all within our reach. Learn from the history, the struggle and the strife. Raise your hands, take a stand, and put away the knife.
So you hear on the backgrounds what happened. I have a quarter note delay, which when it was on by itself is very apparent. It's right there. Now I'm trying to sync it back. I'm trying to hide it. The secret to CLA Epic is how I can hide my delays and reverb, how I can blend multiple effects to just create a sound that doesn't sound like it's an obvious delay or an obvious reverb or an obvious thing. All it is obvious depth. That's what I'm trying to create here. So play it again. I'm going to add a little bit more character.
I was thinking, am I wrong? Or
Let's put some slap in there.
what can I do for the blind?
Let it sink back in the background.
To overcome
Let's get the crowd going.
things we could not see.
A little bit of that.
Raise your hand,
Make it tighter.
stand for all humanity.
Okay.
Now we must practice.
Now let's add the throw.
Came to preach. Educate our children. It's all within our reach.
Let's try him.
Learn
Okay, let's sync him up.
the struggle and the strife. Raise your hands, take a stand, and put away the knife.
We're going to put him on the same sync, okay? This is how far you can create dimension. We're going to put him on the same setting. We're going to offset him a little bit, okay? We're going to sync him back. We're going to play that same bit again.
Now I was
We're going to send him to his own reverb.
am I right? What can I do for the blind to help them find their sight? To overcome all the things we could not see. Raise your hands, take a stand for all
We
humanity.
have a throw delay.
Now
We have a main delay.
practice what we came to preach. Educate our children, it's all within our reach. Learn from the history.
So if you actually look at the plugin right now, you're going to see, okay, delay 1 goes to reverb C. Delay 2 goes to reverb B. Vocal goes to reverb A. And we also have slap, a little crowd. So I'm doing something in one plugin that would take you hours of horror inside of Pro Tools. This is the magic of being able to create depth in the Epic. And this is just me experimenting quickly, right, on a vocal. And that's still using, one reverb with nothing on it. So it shows you how simple it is. You're giving each reverb or delay its own dimension and its own space. Everyone has a certain way they want to blend things. Wetter, drier, more obvious, less obvious. And inside this plugin, it's so easy to do this.
Learn from the history, the struggle and the strife. Raise your hands, take a stand, and put away the knife.